Question for all of you. You all have experience both with the Hollywood big production as well as more independent films, as far as I know. So I was wondering, is it possible to learn something from one to the other, and is it important to do a little bit of both to stay fresh as a composer?
Let's start with Hans.
Not really. It's not for me. I mean, it's a film is a film. Somebody's trying to tell a story, and you work in collaboration with the director who you want to be working with. And sometimes, on an independent European film, you just don't have the machinery in place. So it's a bit of that. But when you sit there writing it, and when you sit there and you get together with the musicians, it makes no difference. It's and I work in a very specific way. I mean, I try to keep the outside influences, the outside voices, as far away as possible. So it's a very small team, and so a small team is on an independent European film the same as an American Hollywood picture. And I try to always ignore the pressures of oh my God, this thing has got to be a blockbuster, because I worked on enough ones where everybody was going, this has to be a blockbuster, and it just went straight to the toilet. So and I worked on small independent. But Driving Miss Daisy, okay, it wasn't quite a small independent film, but who would have thought that movie would become as big a success as it did? And I didn't take it on because it was going to be successful. I took it on because the story meant something to me. And the people I was working with meant something to me.
Elliot?
I think it always helps in music or sports. Now it's rugby playoffs. I think All Blacks are playing France this week. But for each athlete and each composer, it's very important to stay within oneself, because that's the only way. That's the only way to look within and collaborate with one's director. And if you're continued to invited and continue the process of the film, that's fine. If they hate you, you leave the door. But it's most important to stay within yourself. Albert?
Yeah, thank you. I think it's always more about people who you work with, and because working on a bigger movie can be a really pleasant thing, and working on a small movie can be very difficult, depending on who it is and what is your relationship with the director. The thing that really matters to me personally is how much collaboration is how the communication flows, and can I have a chance to actually work with someone in the same room, as opposed to over the phone, for example, or via Skype, which unfortunately happens, at least for me, quite often. That when a director is in another place, this will be conversation about music on the phone, and it can be very, very difficult. And sometimes it's talking about things that we don't see at the same time. And I think the film, it is an art, a collaborative art, and it is important that many people contribute. But I still think that the essential relations that people have actually working together in the same room, not only on the same project, but in the same room, meeting together, talking together. It is just a better recipe to make something work.
Just one little question on that. Abel, for example, working with Madonna on her new film, did you have the feeling that you were only working with the director, or were you also working with somebody who's at the same time very knowledgeable in music, who is a show business phenomenal, or did that all disappear and she was just a director working with the composer?
A good question. Yeah. Actually, talking about the conversations on the phone, I was also thinking about Madonna, because we had quite a few of them. She was constantly somewhere, mostly in New York. I was in Los Angeles, so the phone was necessity, and she was at the same time editing sometimes, and I didn't know what to expect of her. Will it be a strange collaboration when I am hired as a composer and she has this mega star attitude, and will she wants to write my music? But it didn't happen. It really was a relationship as with any director. She was fully what was important for her was the film itself, and music only as much as what needed to help the narration, to help to tell the story. So this was very much traditional. What wasn't traditional, it was perhaps my attitude sometimes when we spoke on the phone, and we had to discuss some new themes. I sent her, and she would sing it to me on the phone, and I just couldn't control my my thrill, the feelings that oh my God, is it really happening? Madonna is singing my music over the phone. It's like, it's like the best telephone call you can have. So